Showtime presents from the Sahara Hotel in Las Vegas, National Lampoon's first ever comedy play-off. With your host, Leslie Nielsen. But first, film and television star and co-chairman of National Lampoon, the distinguished, the ambitious, the overachieving, Mr. Tim Matheson.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. Thank you. And welcome to National Lampoon's first ever annual comedy playoffs. It's a chance for some young comedian to burst onto the national scene, make a name for himself, and ultimately pull down the really big bucks. But not tonight. No. But tonight, the winner will be receiving a featured role in our next movie. National Lampoon and Edge Shaving Gel have conducted contests involving 500 contestants in 31 cities across the country to discover the top amateur comedians in the United States. And tonight, you'll be seeing the finalists vying for the coveted title, the funniest guy we could find. But it's a... It's a great opportunity, and we at the National Lampoon, we want to thank you for believing in comedy in this country. And as someone who stands to make a lot of money from this event, I appreciate your support, too. It gives me great pleasure to introduce your host for this evening, a man who understands the National Lampoon point of view, the irreverence, the edge, and the twisted sense of humor that offends decent people everywhere. Please welcome a living Lampoon, Mr. Leslie Nielsen.
Whoa! It's done. Thank you. Living Lampoon, you know. Anyway, it's an honor, aside from that, to be here. You know, when I first, the call from Showtime and from National Lampoon to do this, very confused by the titles because it said playoffs, you know, is it sports? Is it sex? Or is it both? Yeah. Anyway, I'm game, so I came here, and it's neither one. Anyway, National Lampoon really, it set the comedic sensibility of an entire generation. The magazine stands for honesty and for the courage to do something new, and for sex. You know, that steamy, throbbing, that oozing desire, that... You know, the pulsating image that reaches out for you, you know, and reaches. And it calls your name, Leslie, Leslie, Leslie. Excuse me. No, I really know that for longevity in this business, you have to have, maintain dignity. You know, you have to have a great deal of style. And you have to have, you know, really, you have to have class. None of which National Lampoon has, you know. So, of course, I know that's the reason that they've asked me to come here tonight. You know, my business manager told me that I should take something that had a little more prestige. You know, he said that there was, and I was almost going to take it, I think it was the 28th Annual Mutton Tossing Festival in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Yeah, but I turned it down because, you know, I have to be honest with you. This is where I really belong. Yeah! Up here, in the high desert, surrounded by clowns. Now, well, some of you do know me from motion pictures, you know, and also from TV, Airplane. And Police squad. Naked Gun from the files of Police Squad. And you probably remember The Godfather. I wasn't in it, but it was a great picture. And now it's time to introduce our distinguished judges for tonight. From Animal House, St. Elsewhere, the Dream Team, Have Faith, Mr. Stephen First. Now, next, many of you know her as the randy, lusty, buxom English tart on the hit Dear John, and some of you just know her as Randy, Lusty, and Buxom. The desirable Jane Carr. Now, you have probably seen our next judge as a rock reporter on MTV, Entertainment Tonight, Solid Gold. She virtually straddles the world of rock and roll, and she's pretty, she's smart. And she's here. Welcome, Miss Nina Blackwood. And finally, she's an original cast member from Not Necessarily the News. A four-time Ace Award nominee. She's not necessarily a judge, but she'll do just fine. She's beautiful, she's talented, and Bloom. How about a nice round of applause for our judges? Thank you. Let's have a look at our first finalist. Now, for 2 years in a row, Michael Flannery has been voted the funniest guy in Cincinnati. It's the only contest that Pete Rose didn't bet on.
I've been a paper boy. I used to paint houses. I worked in a recording studio. I used to paint just the inside of houses until I was hurting for money, and somebody asked me if I did exteriors, and I said, no, I don't. And they said, well, it pays $2,000. I said, oh, exteriors. Sure, I do exteriors.
He is a proven winner. Pay close attention to Michael Flannery.
There's someone special in the audience. My college roommate. He's a grown-up now. Oh, yeah. He's married, has kids. Showed me his business card, la-di-da. Name on the card was Martin Joseph Gladstone III. We called him Stoner. Stoner took his family to visit the in-laws. Spent the night in his wife's old bedroom, one next to her parents. She wouldn't let him do the familiar. I made that up, do the familiar. She kept saying, shh, no, we can't. They'll hear us. Now, I'm not married, but I'm thinking if it was me, dang right they're going to hear us. I'm knocking plaster off that ceiling just to make up for all the times I had to be quiet on their couch downstairs. If I'm in a particularly ugly mood, maybe this is the night I become the screamer. Who's your daddy now? Who's your daddy now? I think once I was done, I'd just keep slapping that headboard against the wall. For about another hour and a half. Just to make breakfast conversation with her dad that much more fun. I think your daughter will be sleeping in today, sir. It seems Daddy's little muffin is beat. Pass them sausages, would you, sir? All my friends are grown-ups. The first official grown-up thing they did was invite me to their weddings. I am sick and tired of going to weddings. Weddings are too dang expensive. Whenever I get a wedding invitation, I just stick it with the bills. Now, I found out why weddings are so expensive. It's because you got to buy a gift. I found a way to save some money. Don't buy a gift. But spend some time and pick out a dang nice card. And when you're at home before the reception, take a little piece of Scotch tape. Stick one end of it to the envelope with the card. Stick the other end to a piece of wrapping paper and tear it off. Thank you very much. I'm Michael Flannery. We'll see you later.
Michael Flannery. Now, Keith Barnett represents Los Angeles. He surfed all the way here.
People tell me I remind them of a bunch of different people. I hear Sean Penn a lot, but you know that's not true because I haven't broken your camera yet. And sometimes I hear a young Robert De Niro, a young Al Pacino. That's good. The key word here is young. I'm really trying to hang on to that one with two hands.
But now he's playing this room, and let's see how he does. Keith Barnett.
How you doing? I'd like to do something a little different than the other comedians. I like us to be like family. Can we be like family? See, we're already like family. Most of us aren't talking. That's good. People gotta learn to loosen up. I'm the one that's under pressure here. You know, the winner of this thing gets to be in some National Lampoon movie. I'm the one that's under pressure here. You know, with my luck, I'll win this thing, and this movie will be starring Rob Lowe and shot on videotape, you know? A little worried about Rob Lowe. You know, a lot of you people, if you haven't seen the video, you know the story. It was Rob Lowe, a buddy of his, a video camera, and a 16-year-old girl. And that was his mistake, people, the 16-year-old girl. These girls are dangerous. You know, in the last year and a half, we lost a senator, a congressman, Rob Lowe, and an outfielder for the New York Yankees, the 16-year-old women. There is no excuse for having sex. Even if you're a 16-year-old boy, you should not be having sex with these girls. They are dangerous. There should be a law against having sex with them. You should never, ever, 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 ever have sex with them unless it's like an emergency. You people look at me and say, well, Keith, what constitutes an emergency? I'll give you an example. Say it's like Tuesday, right? That'll do it for me. I'll tell you, you know, like I say, there ought to be a law against, you know, forget about the 16-year-old girl. Forget about the video camera. Forget about the fact that it was like a 2-on-1 deal there. Now, let's talk about that for a second here. See, because Rob almost had it right. Because, ladies, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Every man in this room, secret sexual fantasy. Guys, I'm sorry, but I got to do this for the sake of the show. Every man's secret sexual fantasy, whether he's told you, whether he's told his friends, or whether he's even told himself, is to see two women together. And you know it's true, because look how quiet all the men got. But you know why you don't know this, ladies? Because how are we going to ask you? Honey, how close are you and your friend Diana? That's why, ladies, that's why you get up the courage to ask you to do this thing. Look, it's just one time. It's not going to kill you. Go ahead and do it. But guys, by the same token, if she does this for you, her secret fantasy may be to see two guys together. And if she could get up the courage to ask you to do this, you beat the shit out of her. Because that's sick. Some of you say that's a real sexist attitude. Look, it's just a joke, okay? A lot of you guys could actually learn from me, follow my lead. Ladies, back me up on this. Don't you guys do this to you a lot? It's like after lovemaking, they're done and they just fall asleep, right? It's like, na-na-na-na-na. Oh, romance isn't dead. No, it's just taking a big fucking nap now, ain't it? Guys, you gotta stay up. You gotta talk to your ladies. Afterward is the most important part, right, ladies? That's right. That's why after lovemaking, usually I'll try to say something sweet like, ugh, I'm done. Thanks a lot.
Keith Barnett. Now, Tony Woods is from Baltimore, Maryland.
Open mic night at a comedy club in Washington, D.C. It was very scary. Okay, I went up and, like for the first 45 seconds, I didn't say anything. My leg was shaking, and people just started laughing. And after that, I just started going on and talking. And people were like, you're funny. I'm like, thank you, thank you.
Now, Tony Woods.
Las Vegas, how y'all feel? Y'all look like a fun crowd, man. Is this a fun crowd? Y'all like to do a lot of fun stuff? Like to go camping? Now, see, y'all sound like a black audience when y'all said that, man. Because, see, I play a lot of black clubs, and I say, you guys got a fun audience. They go, yeah. Like to do a lot of fun stuff? Yeah. Like to go camping? Who is he talking to, man? See, I'm gonna tell you a little secret about black people and camping. We don't fucking go. Unless we get evicted from our apartment. Hey, man, what y'all doing outside? With all your furniture? Camping. But I did try camping myself, man, on the way out here. I went camping in the Rocky Mountains. And if you guys know, that's real camping. We had to have an Indian guide who took us up into the woods and everything. And it was nice, man, because that night we made camp. We're all sitting around the campfire, smoking a joint. Because we didn't have any marshmallows. And all of a sudden, man, we heard this wild noise off in the bush. And everybody got real scared. And our Indian guy looks at us and he goes, "Salam alaikum, sasam kwajam." I said, man, exhale the smoke before you talk. So he goes, "Sounds like Sasquatch." And then right at that minute, man, you would not believe this, but right at that minute, right out of the woods, boom, it was a Bigfoot. And everybody around the campfire just ran, except me. I was the last guy sitting there, because I paid for the reefer. And he came over to me, boom, boom, boom. And I stood up, and it was me and the Bigfoot face to face. Me and the Bigfoot were face to face. Well, not really face to face, because he's like 9.5 feet tall. And I didn't want to look right at it. Because he doesn't wear underclothes. And if you think his feet are big, I was hoping he wasn't going to tell me I was going to be little feet. Hey, look, man, my name is Tony Woods. Y'all be good, all right?
Tony Woods. Now, Evan Davis comes from a show business family. His mother was a June Taylor dancer.
I'm Evan Davis. I represent the Lone Star State of Texas. I would much rather have represented Florida because they have hurricanes and alligators, which stormy day makes for 8-foot lizards whipping around your head, which is a bad day for golf. But boy, oh boy, who needs drugs?
Anyway, the very funny Evan Davis.
I'm Evan Davis. I've been up since Sunday. Easter Sunday. I feel pretty good. I just got these. They're great, aren't they? They're lawyer skin. And can't buy them. They're $300 an hour to wear. good to you. Have beautiful eyes, man. That's great. I like eyes on a woman. I flew in with my girlfriend. I have a new girlfriend. She's psychotic. She's a young girl who came in. She said I talk too much. I didn't know this. I've joined a self-help program called On and On and On. And meetings last forever, man. Those people won't shut up. I just don't know much about women. Do we know much about women? Do we? We don't. We know when they're happy. We know when they're crying. We know when they're pissed off. We just don't know what order those are going to come at us. So we flew in. Mental fatigues, man. Who knew? Would you get on a flight called 50-50? I don't think so. We flew in, though, man. Who knew mental fatigue? I knew lawn chairs collapsed. I didn't know this. If we drove 700 miles an hour, we'd know about mental fatigue, right? Because the fenders would blow off. That's mental fatigue, honey. We were driving faster. Porsche has a car out now. Goes 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds. Who's this for? Single mom on the go. Put on your helmets. We're going to daycare. Let's go. We got things to do. Mom, Mom, Mom. You get them there, they're just a puddle in the car seat, man. 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. You want a good coffee caddy on the dash, don't you? You don't just set a big gulp in your lap. Hit the freeway, man. 200 miles an hour, Your Honor. I was reaching for a cassette. I looked up. We were in Phoenix. We don't build cars like that, do we? Those are European cars. We build them that fast, but we recall our cars. That's a great concept, isn't it? That's a legal term. Recall the car. We didn't mess up or anything. We just really want to get those cars back. We drank a lot the night before. We don't remember putting brakes in those. Had to recall the Fieros. They kept bursting into flame. We build excitement. Get out of the car! Yes, sirree, man. Cars. Chevrolet's using Disney characters to sell cars now. Who they aiming at with this ad campaign? Like I'm at home going, I gotta have what Goofy's driving. He's a drunk dog, isn't he? Riding along in my automobile. Like, step out of the car, sir. Nope, no way. Walk a line, pal. Okay. You guys have been terrific. Thanks very much.
Evan Davis. It's really unfortunate that all 31 of these great comedians couldn't make the final cut. But we'd like to show you a few of the comedians who didn't make it, and you can see what they did.
Thank you very much. Had a very scary experience today. I was watching television, the news. Some guy in New York City tried to kill himself. The middle of the Brooklyn Bridge. He stopped his car. He's up on the railing. He's going to jump. Everybody's trying to talk him down. They're screaming, "No, don't jump, don't jump! Take your car with you, you're blocking the lane, you asshole!" I learned something about my niece. My niece is 4 years old, adorable little kid. And you know something? You tell a 4-year-old a word, they will repeat it over and over and over again. If it's dirty, they'll say it louder each time. I told my niece heard the word penis, okay? She became Mike Wallace. Grandma, do you have a penis? No, honey, I don't. Does Aunt Louise have a penis? No, but she's married to one. She walked up to me and goes, Uncle Art, do you have a penis? Yes, I do, and thank you for asking. My sister runs in the room and goes, Art, when the hell did you tell her you have a penis for? Let me get this straight, folks. I don't want a 4-year-old telling people her Uncle Art doesn't have a penis.
Like I say, it has been kind of a bad week. A friend of mine tried to commit suicide this week. Found out he had dyslexia and jumped behind a bus. So...
I'm not red, not yellow, I'm not black, I'm not white, I'm brown. So I thought whoever wrote this song left me out, not on purpose, maybe they just forgot about me. So he rewrote the song a little bit, and now it goes like this. Jesus loves the little children, all the children of the world. Red and yellow, black and white and brown, he just forgot to write it down. Jesus loves the little children of the world, right? You know? Thank you. I want to go to heaven too, you know. Imagine me walking towards the pearly gates, little St. Peter singing that song. Red and yellow, black and white. Hello, God? Yeah, this is Peter. What'd you say you're supposed to do with the Mexican ones again? Uh-huh. Okay, bye-bye. Yeah, the kitchen's right through that cloud, so if you just like, right through there.
Didn't take much to set my mother off, either. All I had to do was walk into a room. It's like, will you stop traipsing through this house? Traipsing? I never even heard of the word before, you know? Of course, if it came in late, it's what time did you come waltzing in last night? I don't know, I traipsed out about 7:30. I don't know what time I finally waltzed back in again. And where were you? Out gallivanting?
She's got this one product. It's Summer's Eve. It's a feminine hygiene. The password is douche. But she's got this product, and she doesn't know where it belongs in the store. So I'm at the end of this one aisle stocking toothpaste on the shelf, and there's like 10 people in between us. She holds it up. She goes, Phil! Where does this go?
Did anybody see Batman? I saw Batman. I watched Batman. I thought it should have been a Black Robin in Batman. Add a lot more excitement to it. It wouldn't have been no more of this. Holy mackerel, Batman. Now it's, God damn, Batman. Ain't that a bitch?
Got my haircut today. I'm not real happy about it. I told the barber to make me look like they do in New York. I think he thought I said, make me look like Dick York.
I got a question. How many people, by a round of applause, thought that on the closing credits of the Brady Bunch, Mike Brady was looking up Alice's dress in that little square he was in? Is it just me? Because think about it. The music's kicking. It's like, na-na-na-na, na-na-na-na, na. Hey!
And you guys not know the Miss America pageant, they want to ban the bathing suit competition? Because the judges are saying they want to see more brain than body from these girls. Now, folks, if they're going to ban the bathing suit competition, put these girls in polyester jumpsuits, no makeup on their face, curlers in the hair, the one that looks the best at 6:30 in the morning, crown her ass Miss America.
Two prostitutes walking down the street, one looks over to the other one and goes, hey, you ever been picked up by the fuzz? She goes, no, but I've been twirled around by my tits.
Then you hear Dr. Ruth behind the bushes, remember? That was Ruthie. I think Ruthie should have played the part of Dorothy. That would have been something. Remember when Glenda goes,
Are you a good witch or a bad witch? I'm a sexologist.
I'm talking real American cartoons. Bugs Bunny. Yeah.
You ever notice that Bugs has a New York accent? Yeah. I don't think he's really from New York, though, because he would probably say things like,
Up yours, Elma, bite my ass.
You know, an interesting thing happens when you realize the aircraft you're in is no longer flying you home. It's turning around, and it's falling out of the sky. You don't know how far for sure, but your body has a muscle that can calculate altitude. That thing starts fibrillating on you. There were 3 people this side of their chair. They said, I'm not crashing. I'm flying my ass home. People are freaking out in 4 or 5 different languages, running up and down the aisles. I'm sitting next to my wife, Sharon Marie, 20-some years we've been together. My oldest son here. A lot of people I love. The plane's crashing. People are freaking. I'm getting scared. I look over. There's a beautiful, young blonde woman looking at me. Plane crash. I look over the blonde. She's winking at me like this. My brain's thinking, I'm never going to see my other two kids again. So I'm going to crash right here in my brain. My heart, of course, is going out to my wife, Sharon Marie, mother of my children, love of my life. Everything else is going, look at this blind. The plane dropped about 3,000 feet. Just to myself, just real quiet, just way back here, I said to myself, if we're definitely going to crash, I'm going to jump this blind. Just to myself, just a thought. Didn't hurt anybody. It was just a thought, you know. Then the plane dropped 8,000 feet. My mouth, on its own, says, Sharon, if we're going to crash, I'm going to jump this blind. Well, Sharon, I'll tell you what, Sharon handled it very well. Extremely well. She knew it was a tense situation. I'll never forget. She kind of gave me a little kiss on the cheek and a little hug, and I thought it was kind of cute. She said, Norm, just relax, and I'll be honest with you. If we're definitely going to crash, see that guy in the blue blazer? I'm going to jump that guy in the blue blazer. Again. What? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out of here.
Saw this in the paper yesterday. Over in England, Siamese twins, married Siamese twins. Can y'all imagine that? They don't 69, they 138. Yeah. Went to SeaWorld, that was a lot of fun. They said that penguins keep the same mate for life. Penguins. Don't y'all think every now and then one of them's going, honey, I swear to God, I thought that was you. Some people think we shouldn't have a death penalty. I feel like if you murder somebody in cold blood, you deserve a death penalty. How do people feel that way? Right? Now, in all fairness, some people think only God should make that final decision. I respect that. So what we ought to do is have a wrath of God penalty. We won't kill a murderer, but every time there's a storm, he's got to get on the roof with a lightning rod in his hand. Come on, let's see what God thinks about you this time.
When I went down to L.A., and I think they take their music a little bit seriously because I was dating this girl, and I bought her a gift. I said to the kid behind the counter, excuse me, could you rap that for me? He goes, sure. So you bought a gift for your girl today, and you go... No, wrong rap. It's just paper and stuff. I don't do drugs. I am very hyperactive. Hormone imbalance. I was born with one testicle, and you can giggle all you want. In high school, they used to bust my ball about it constantly. But
My name is Billy Swan. I'm from Miami. I recently was in Atlanta. How many people recognize me from that Rob Lowe video? No? Oh, here, how about now? You know, I have a problem with this. Now, don't you think the networks could have at least done this to Rob so we could still get dates? What do you think?
They say, buddy, if you can't say no, at least have the guy use a condom. Now, how many of you guys here use condoms? No fucking body, you see? No. Because a condom doesn't sound like something you want to put on your dick. Besides that, guys, it's made of rubber. And if you want to fuck rubber, you can go out and fuck the tires on your car, right? And on the way there, they had an automobile accident. A woman was catapulted from the automobile. Had a bad accident. She was catapulted. All her clothes were burned off of her. She walked up to her husband and she said, Lord have mercy, look at me. He said, go get help. She said, look at me, I'm buck naked. He said, well, go get help, I'm stuck. She said, what you want me to do? He took off his shoe. He said, take this. She said, I ought to hit you with it. She took the shoe. She covered up her personal area. She went to Boudreaux's local golf service and she said, Mr. Boudreaux, I'm in trouble. He said, I see that. She said, you don't understand, my husband's stuck. He said, honey, if you're stuck that far, I can't help you.
Let's hear it for all these talented young comedians. Now, Amos Ewing is from St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah, I've realized that probably the best thing I should have done was gone ahead and gotten my degree in architecture, and that way, right now, I'd have a house, a life, a wife, I'd have kids, I'd be successful. But then I wouldn't be very happy.
Here from the Show Me State to show us his Amos Ewing.
Thanks for waiting. My name is Amos Ewing. Are you kids ready to play 20 stupid questions? All right, what's your name, miss? Lori, let's all go, ooh, Lori! Lori, that's a beautiful outfit you have on there. Couldn't afford the whole thing, huh? Just teasing, just teasing. Now, Lori, you're going to be our first contestant for 20 stupid questions. And, Lori, if you answer your question correctly, you'll win the brand new wardrobe from Mattel for Barbie and Ken. It's the new life-size bondage Barbie and kinky Ken. So be on your toes, Lori. Here is your trick question. Lori, where does John Cougar Mellon camp? Where did Vincent Van Gogh? Where could Linda Eller be? Time's up. Correct answer, Jonathan Winters, where's Suzanne Summers. But you get a bonus question, Lori. Are you ready? Lori, who did Peter Falk? Did Lucille Ball? Was Claire Booth loose? Or was Helen Reddy? Correct answer, Michael J. Fox and Max Factor. But you get a bonus question, Lori. Lori, who gave Eddie money? Who gave Robert De Niro? Who gave Johnny cash? Where does June Carter cash? Is that where Guy Eubanks? Why was Buddy rich? Did Johnny pay check? What was Rita Hayworth? How much has Xavier Cugat? How much does Jackie Onassis? Who did Robert Goulet? Did Robert Goulet or Edith Head? Lori, who gave Edith Head? Would they give Tallulah Bankhead? Correct answer, they gave Agnes Moorehead. But thanks for playing. Who gave Roberta Flack? Did Margot Kidder? Did Samantha Egger? Why did Mary Decker? Did Art Linkletter? Who did Chuck Berry? Did Lady Di or was Faye Dunaway? How was Faye Dunaway? Did Tab Hunter? Did Holly Hunter? Or did Dan Blocker, Black and Decker, and Dicker and Dicker from Beverly Hills? Can Alistair Cook? Was Kevin Bacon? Or did Peter Boyle? Or was Elizabeth Barrett Browning? Will Ike or Tina Turner? Who did Gene Rayburn? Was Vanna White, James Brown, and Shirley Temple Black? Why was Shirley Temple Black? Did Tammy Faye Baker? Or was Irene Dunn? Correct answer, George Burns. Does Arthur C. Clarke? Does George C. Scott? Who did Tom Cruise? Was Ben Gay or Marvin Gaye? It makes Stevie wonder. What gets Peter Houston off? What kept Mary Ann faithful? Was Merle Haggard? Was Ferlin Husky? Or was Conway Twitty? Lori, who would Dan rather have? Why was Maria Callas? Did Arnold Palmer? Did Dennis Hopper? Or did Joe Cocker? Was Lauren Green? Was Vida Blue? Was Joel Gray? Why was the ex-manager of the Oakland A's Dick Green? Did Wilson Pickett? Did Lyle Lovett? Could Buddy Hackett? Why was the ex-manager of the Oakland A's Dick Green? Because Tony Bennett, and thanks for playing. Why was Ellen Burstyn? Did Richard Pryor? Or did Christopher Plummer? Why does Rona Barrett? Did Dick Butkiss? Did Andre Sakharov? Or did Engelbert Humperdinck? Thank you.
Amos Ewing. Ken Briggs hails from Memphis.
Hi, I'm Ken Briggs. I'm the Memphis regional winner. I was born and raised in the Deep South, and of course the Deep South is where men pick up their women like this. Woo!
The comedy of Ken Briggs.
Thank you. So, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a married man. I know a lot of you women are real disappointed about that. I like being married, though, because when you're married, you don't have to hold your gut in when you go out anymore. It don't matter. You're like, before the honeymoon, after the honeymoon. My wife and I get along real good, though, except for maybe a few days during the month. Yeah. She calls it PMS, premenstrual syndrome. I call it PMS, pack my suitcase. I'll be at the Holiday Inn. Not only am I married, I also have 2 kids. I have a preteen and a preschooler. Now you know why my hairstyle is what it is. Now that I have kids, I know what my parents went through. Because now I know why my parents have dentures. It's not from old age or gum disease. It's from all those years of gritting their teeth. Get your ass in this house. Oh, and looking back, it's a wonder they got gums left, man. And they say that your kids will be 7 times worse than you were. Oh, I'm raising Charles Manson, boy. And if you have kids at home, you know, you got to be careful because kids are dangerous. They really are, because they'll leave stuff laying around that can hurt you. Now, I'm not talking about obvious stuff like cars or skates or anything. I'm talking about lethal stuff like Monopoly houses. Yeah, you ever step on a Monopoly house? Little green bastards got them points all over them and get between your toes and hurt like hell, boy. But as bad as they are, they're not the worst. The worst are jacks. Ooh, yeah, jacks are wicked because they got them 2 big spikes on them. And them 4 spokes with the knobs on the end of it. What the hell's them knobs for, to take meat with it? Who invented these things, Nazis? I mean, you see Indian gurus walking on hot coals and broken glass and nails, but you don't see them messing with jacks. They be talking about, oh, no jacks, please. No, them damn things hurt. You better believe they hurt. You step on a jack at 2 in the morning, you want to start abusing kids. You be jerking them out of bed. Get your ass out of bed. Get that goddamn thing out of there. Get it out of there. And you're gritting them teeth. Ah! Thank y'all. My name's Ken Briggs. Y'all been great.
Ken Briggs. Now, Franco comes from Kansas City.
For some reason, in people's minds, when you talk to people from the coast, you say Kansas City, Missouri, their minds stop after Kansas. And you get a lot of questions about Dorothy. And frankly, I don't even know her.
Here's Kansas City's funniest man, Franco.
Thank you. Thank you. My name is Franco. I have to point out right now, if you have trouble understanding me, it's because I have braces on my teeth. I have white porcelain braces that you can kind of see, but you kind of can't. And if I go to the dentist and the dentist tells me, well, your teeth are kind of straight, but they kind of ain't. Well, you see, I'm going to kind of pay you, but I kind of ain't. You see, the check is in the mail, but I didn't sign it, which means you can kind of cash it, but you kind of can't. Been traveling around the country, went through the state of Oklahoma. As I crossed the state line, I felt my IQ drop. What the hell was that? Duh. Where does belt buckle come from? Traveling around, it's fun. Up in Oklahoma, they have extremely big bugs, though. Hit one, felt like a speed bump. Was driving. In the rear window, saw this huge bug. Read that in California, they recently banned the sale of semi-automatic weapons, which made sense to me because in California and a lot of the country, it's legal to buy and sell semi-automatic weapons, but fireworks are outlawed. Hey, son, what you got there? Oh, officer, it's an AK-47 semi-automatic rifle. Oh, okay, thought you had some fireworks or something. But now somebody tell me, besides the money, where's the motivation to become a proctologist? Was there a TV show before my time? Buttman! Join us next week when Budman and Boy Thunder Meet the monster from Uranus. Y'all been a lot of fun. My name's Franco.
Franco. And now, Steve Brassfield of Houston. He's more than a comedian. He's also a full-fledged geologist.
Those long road trips with a wife are a little more than I could handle. You know, it's like you just want to rip that ear off and throw it out the window, you know. I now know why Van Gogh cut that ear off. That's the side she rode on.
Here is Steve Brassfield.
Leslie Nielsen, girl's name. So, good to be here. Woke up this morning, my wife was already pissed off at me about something she had dreamed. I said, what did I do? She said, like you don't know. I said, go back to sleep. Maybe I'll get out of it. Huh? It was like if a tree falls in the forest and there's no one around to hear it fall, will she still bitch about it? And I had to get married, though, you know. Inflatable doll burned up. Smoking in bed. Airhead bitch, I warned her. I did manage to save that little inflatable hand, though, you know. You hook that up to a weed eater, get a six-pack, you got a weekend, brother. I don't know what it is now. You get married now, you get the house, you get the wife, you get the maid that doesn't speak English, where you're trying to figure out what the hell this one speaks. She's hiding your shit all over the house. Right? This backfired on my wife. Lost her vibrator. Desperately going up to the maid. ¿Dónde está la... Y'all don't have to tell my wife I did that joke, okay? Oh, she's mean, you know. She'll do something real mean to me, like use my chapstick on a cat's ass or something. Honey, I can't pin this flavor down. It tastes kind of minty, you know. That's sick, right? I don't know. I think my alcoholics might have been parents. I'm not sure. Same thing for vacation every year. Oh, Dad, not Milwaukee again. When your parents are alcoholics, you pretty much only guess at what normal is, right? You're in school, the teacher goes, Steve, what's the first thing you do when you get up every morning? Go look for the car? What's the last thing you do before you go to bed every night? I don't remember. But when you're traveling with a family, you never have to worry about that backhand from Dad to the back seat, you know? He's never quite sharp enough to get it back there. Mom's never quick enough to get out of the way. Shut up, kids. Boom. Sorry, honey. Time you get where you're going, Mom's looking like Rocky, facing the dash, you know. Look, honey, Clydesdale. So we're back there arguing about whatever we want to, you know. But the arguments are different when your parents are alcoholics, you know. We're back there going, I'm adopted. No, I'm adopted. You look just like Mom. No, I don't. Boom, now you do. All other cars, station wagons full of kids passing, they're all singing, merrily, 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 merrily. Wherever they're singing, Ramblin' Rose. Hey, we would have sang 96 bottles of beer on the wall, but every time we got down to 50, they'd pull over and get more, you know. But y'all drink up, have fun, don't get drunk, go out and try to drive it off. Then come back and try to sue the bar for over-serving you. I never understood that, you know. That's like suing a restaurant for getting fat or something, you know what I mean? They had to put warning labels on beer bottles. Caution, excessive use may cause a sidewalk to slap you in the face unexpectedly. They do. They actually have warning labels on beer bottles. Now, look right here. It says, according to the Surgeon General, yeah, screw him, he quit. Women shouldn't drink alcoholic beverages because it'll cause birth defects. Yeah, face it, lady, you just got drunk, screwed some ugly guy, okay? Has it been good being here?
Steve Brassfield. Now, what is Denver famous for? Alexis Colby, John Elway, an omelet, and maybe one day our next contestant, Sam Griesbaum.
The biggest misconception, I think my audiences tend to believe that I'm a real redneck when actually I'm very erudite and scholarly. Excuse me while I scratch my butt.
He's the pride of the Rockies. He might even be part of the Rockies. He's a big guy. And he is a funny guy, the large Sam Griesbaum.
Well, good evening. My name is Sam Greasebaum, so you can guess my childhood pretty much sucked. I got into comedy for what I think is a damn good reason. I believe God must have a sense of humor. Because let's be honest, if he didn't, why would he give me a last name like Greasebaum and then make me look like a Cabbage Patch Kid on steroids? I can tell from up here what a lot of you people are thinking, too. You're looking at me thinking, you know, Sam, you're just a little out of shape. So I'd like to share with you what I'm thinking, which is, screw you, round is a shape. Right, by gosh, us chunky people have to stick together. In fact, in the summertime, us chunky people can't help but stick together, can we? I know there may be a few of the rest of you out there looking at me thinking, you know, he looks a little like that fella from Bonanza. It's all right, guys, I'm used to it by now. I know I bear a pretty strong resemblance to Michael Landon, so... No, people will come up to me from time to time, say things like, you know, you look a lot like that Hoss Cartwright fella. You know, the big, ugly, stupid, fat, bald one? I always tell them, yeah, I know. Yeah, I realize I have more hair on my butt than I have on my head. But it's not so bad. I can moose it and pick stuff up. Quick impression for you. This is what I think you might have seen if Dan Blocker had taken some different acting roles. Can you see him, for instance, in The Godfather?
Sonny, the Taglias moving in on the east side. They're bringing in drugs. They're bringing in guns. They're bringing in broads. You're the family enforcer now, Sonny. What are you going to do about it?
Dadgummit, boy. I figure I'll eat them. As you can probably tell by now, I'm originally grew up in the country, and I found there are some subtle differences between city people and country people. We have a different sense of humor, for one thing. In the city, people tell one another jokes. In the country, it's more like, hey, Billy Bob, show me that trick you do with a frog and a 12-volt car battery. No, I enjoyed growing up in the country, though. Got to spend time outdoors, hunting, fishing with my dad. I loved that. Hunting, Dad would always get me up at 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning, Dad wanted to get there. Well, he didn't want to get there early. He wanted to make sure we had time to get coffee and donuts. Here's a good idea, guys. I'm packing a high-powered rifle. Load me up on caffeine and sugar. Oh, yeah, just me and Dad out walking through the timber. Dad's behind me going, something moved! Relax, Dad, it's just me. Here, sniff, big fella. Dad would always stop, same spot every year, point at the ground, say, you see that, son? That's deer sign. No, Dad, that's deer shit, okay? Let's be honest, Dad, if the dog did this on the carpet, we wouldn't call it dog sign, would we? I never understood why he called it sign. It always looked more like milk duds to me. Told a friend of mine about that. He said, why don't you get you a big box of milk duds and sneak out the night before the big hunt? You can put them all along the trail. Next day when your dad said, look, son, deer sign, you go, yeah, and they're fresh, too. Thank you.
Sam Greasebaum. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Our finalists. Let's hear it for all of them, all of our finalists. You're good at it, yes, you're good at it, yeah. It also gives me pleasure to reintroduce National Lampoon co-chairman Mr. Tim Matheson and our distinguished and very smartly dressed judges. I'd like to thank the judges, Stephen Firth, Jane Carr, Nina Blackwood, and Ann Bloom. Thank you very much for helping us and show that you agree that all 31 comedians were great. It's really unfortunate that we can't have 31 great prizes, too. In any event, Stephen Firth, we have a winner. Would you give Tim Matheson the envelope with your decision inside? Okay.
I'd like to tell whoever wins tonight, keep working hard, be true to yourself and your comedy, and when you've made it, remember that we're the one that made you. The winner of the National Lampoon Comedy Playoff is from St. Louis, Amos Ewing. Hey, Amos Ewing! Stay right here. Stay right here.
Why does Rona Barrett? Did Dick Butkiss? Did Andre Sakharov? Or did Engelbert Humperdinck? Thank you.
Congratulations, the winner. Thanks for watching. See you next year. That's the end of the show. And roll the credits. I think that's it.